Hello, welcome back, my lovely people. So it is just a few months ago before I spoke to you. And so, continuing with my Pride reads, yesterday I read Murder in the Dressing Room by Holly Stars. And this is, by day Joe Brown is a shy hotel accountant. By night Joe is London drag star Misty Divine. But when Lady, Misty's beloved mentor, is found murdered in her dressing room, she finds herself uncomfortably in the spotlight. Because Misty and her fellow drag performers are prime suspects, heartbroken and frustrated by police looking in the wrong direction, Joe fears a killer may be in their midst. But what can a mere hotel accountant possibly do? And so this is a story of Mr. Divine, a non-binary gay drag queen, and as they're through the figure of Misty, they live out all their wild fantasies. They're bold, they're passionate, they're powerful, they're strong. Whereas when they aren't dressed as Misty, when they're Joe, Joe is much more quieter, doesn't really push themselves forward, and is scared a lot of the time. But as Misty, they are powerful, they are in control, and they basically go on a hunt for the killer of Lady. And it's really, really beautifully written. Just the way Holly describes Joe's struggle with their self-acceptance of being who they are and of being easily pushed around in a sense, but it's really, really beautiful, really enjoyable. A huge cast of completely bonkers characters. A useless detective inspector who just doesn't really want to be involved with a bunch of drag queens, and his sergeant who is slightly better, but even so she's still at times not great. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant, very enjoyable, very funny at times, very emotional, very, very powerful, and yeah, very, very enjoyable. And there is actually the second one, which is called Missing in Soho, which I want to get, which is actually already out. So I'm very, very late to the party. But yeah, Murder in the Dressing Room, and on Storygraph, I gave it 5 stars. Well recommend. And today I read The In-Between Bookstore by Edward Underhill, a whimsical and healing novel about a trans man in New York who, almost 30, laid off, broke, moves back to a small town in Illinois, walks into a bookstore he worked at in high school and slips through time to come face to face with his pre-transition teenage self. So, if you had one chance to talk to your younger self, what would you say? When Derby left Oak Falls for university in New York, all he wanted was to get far away as possible, find a community where he could start afresh, and finally forget about his childhood best friend Michael, and how painfully their friendship ended. Now about to turn 30, Derby suddenly finds himself unemployed, with no better alternative, and questioning where he really belongs. He moves back to his hometown, but the changes in Oak Falls make him feel off balance. And Michael's still there, their relationship still distant and strained. One thing familiar, in between books. Derby's refuge growing up and high school job. When he walks inside, Derby feels an eerie sense of déjà vu. Everything is exactly the same, even the newspapers are dated 2009. And behind the till is a teen who looks exactly like Derby did at 16. A teen who just might give him the opportunity to change his own presence for the better if he can figure out how before his connection to the past vanishes forever. So this is really, really quite powerful about a teenager's self-acceptance, found family, thinking you need to move somewhere else to really find yourself, find your people, and how sometimes you can walk away from a friendship, and how sometimes you can self-destruct without realising you're doing it. And yeah, so when he steps back into the bookstore for the first time, when he sees himself, and he starts to talk to his teenage self, it's really quite interesting when because he's trying to work out what happened between him and Michael and why their friendship went sour. And eventually he works it out, and he tries to work out how he can fix it and where he really belongs. Does he belong in New York with his found family, or does he belong in Oak Falls? It's really beautifully written, very moving, very powerful, and on Storygraph I gave this 5 stars. It's really beautiful, really highly recommend it. So if you've read either of these 2 books, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you thought of them. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will be back with you in 2 days' time for another Pride review. Bye bye for now.